Hello, it's Anita Richardson, Superintendent of School District 57. I just wanted to reach out this evening and share a short video discussing the potentially difficult news that was sent home for some of our schools and families regarding school organization in relation to our decreasing enrollment. It is that time of year when school districts look closely at our student enrollments because of its tie to our funding. Please know that we are working to minimize the impact on students and staff while addressing a budget challenge that's been created due to a significant decline in our student enrollment. This is not something that we were entirely expecting based on our early numbers, but it is a situation that we are currently in. We are grateful to the Ministry of Education, who has implemented funding protection that will lessen the impact of these challenges for School District 57. Much like families, we've had to make some tough decisions. We know that families have had to make very tough decisions about whether they return their children to school based on a variety of factors, including COVID-19 related concerns. We are all making the best decisions we can in a less than ideal situation, and truly, this is not the way we would like to start any school year. We are very mindful of the impact that our decisions have on our schools, our classrooms, our staff, and most importantly, our students, both now and throughout the year. We feel very strongly it is important that we make these changes once and only once. We are trying our best to ensure that we will not have to make further adjustments to learning groups and classrooms later in this school year. Currently, our regular classroom student enrollment from kindergarten to grade 12 is down approximately 425 full-time units. That is about $3.2 million in reduced enrollment funding. To offset that slightly is our distributed learning program, which has seen an increase of approximately 146 students over what was seen in our 2019-2020 school year. That does add funding back into our system, but it adds it back at a lower rate than for students that would be in regular classrooms. So it does not, along with funding protection, kind of take care of all of the decrease in funding that we are looking at. So we recognize that while there may be some disruption for students in schools whose classes are reorganized, to recognize this budget challenge, we are doing our best to ensure we have the appropriate supports in place for both students and staff. We know that no time is a good time to reorganize a school, but earlier in the school year is better for students. We know that teachers and staff in our schools have worked very hard to build relationships and rapport with all of our students, and that all of our staff will continue to do that very important work within their new class configurations. We understand that that is what is most important to our students and families at this very time, is that we understand all of the needs of students coming into our classrooms, the anxieties, the concerns, the learning needs, all of that rolls into one. And we are trying to make these changes under the conditions where we can best support those needs. Doing this now will allow students to safely settle into the revised learning groups for the remainder of the school year. We do have time with our non-instructional day today to deep clean our impacted schools so that they are ready for the return on Monday. I would also like to remind parents that you can really help ensure the safety of our schools and our communities by remembering the importance of the daily health checks that are mandated by the Provincial Health Office. Please help us ensure that the students and staff who are coming into our schools are healthy and well, and those that are sick will stay home. Speaking of staff, I think it's very important to note, as many people have already shown concern about our teachers, that we were able to find placements for all of the teachers that may be misplaced from their classroom settings through this reorganization. They will be offered opportunities to work in other positions across the district. Some of the ways we have positions would be that we require additional staffing in our distributed learning program. We're providing some additional staffing and supports for students on transition who are working their way back into our schools, as well as for students who are learning at home due to reasons of having immune compromisations in their families or households. All of those reasons required additional staffing from our perspective, and we were able to help support that through our provincial and federal funds that we've received to address those very specific items that were targeted, connected to COVID-19. So we will continue to address those areas for both the federal and provincial funds that were provided, given the very limited identifiers and the criteria that we were to meet. As a parent, a teacher, and a superintendent, please know that I, along with my team, take these decisions very seriously. We read your feedback, we hear your concerns, we empathize and are concerned about how these decisions impact your lives at home and the lives of our students. We hold the safety and well-being of all of our students at the forefront of all of our decisions. And we want you to know that there is nothing more important to us than the well-being of your children in our classrooms. I wish you all a very great weekend. I hope you find some time for family and friends, and stay safe.